Hey there and welcome back to Geek Cheese. My name's Kelly and I'm back with The Sims 4 doing another Creative Sim video. This time I'm attempting to do Marilyn Monroe, who I don't think I really need to give an introduction. I think everyone kind of knows who Marilyn Monroe is, I hope. Um, but I guess if you don't, she's a classic Hollywood actress who's kind of famous for being kind of playing like a blonde bimbo, kind of, not to be mean, but that's kind of what her shtick was back in the day. And she's famous for doing a lot of movies. I haven't seen tons of her movies actually, but one of my favorites is Some Like It Hot. It's hysterical. I highly recommend that movie. It's really good. But that movie in particular I really like of hers. So yeah, this is my Marilyn Monroe video. It's kind of a little bit of a modernized version because like I said in my Audrey Hepburn video that I did last time, I don't have the vintage glamour pack. And there's not tons of like vintage kind of stuff in this game, so it's just kind of like a modern version. Um, but anyway, talking about movies, I actually went to the movies last night. I went to see um, Mother with Jennifer Lawrence, and it was really, really good. Greg liked it too. I thought it was amazing. Um, the only thing I would say is don't expect it to be, if you go to see it, don't expect it to be kind of like it or like super like gory. It is kind of gory, but it's not scary in the way like a movie like It or Halloween or something like typical like that. It's a little bit different and it has like kind of a heavy message within the movie. So, if you do see it, kind of just prepare yourself for that. It's kind of emotional. There's some sad parts, trigger parts, possibly triggering parts for people. But I thought it was really good. I thought it had a strong message. And yeah, we both really enjoyed it. We actually were supposed to we were supposed to go to the drive-in and see Kevin Smith. The drive-in was having a Kevin Smith fest, and they were having a weekend of Clerks, Mallrats, um, Jane Silent Bob, and Chasing Amy. And we thought they were playing Clerks and Mallrats, but they were actually playing, it was the night that they were playing Jane Silent Bob and Chasing Amy, which was fine. We were going to go see it, but it started to rain, and we just changed our minds. So we ended up driving an hour back home, and we ended up going to see Mother, and it was a really good movie, and I was happy we kind of went to see it. Although I love Kevin Smith movies too. I love Clerks. Definitely recommend Clerks. Uh, but yeah, so we ended up going to the movies. Um, what are other movies I want to see coming out? Greg really wants to go see Justice League, so we're probably gonna see Justice League when that comes out. Um, Obviously, we want to go see Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Um, can't wait to go see that. Oh, and while I'm watching the video, let me just say that um, I think I did a pretty good job with Marilyn Monroe, but I think that her chin could, the bottom half of her face probably could have been a little bit narrower. So if I would go back in and create a sim, I'd probably just fix that part. For the most part, I think it turned out okay. But anyway, yeah, so I want to see Star Wars, Justice League. I really want to see the new Mary Poppins coming out. I think it's coming out near Christmas. I really want to go see that. I love Mary Poppins. I don't know. I'm a little like weird about it. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm gonna go see it because I love anything having to do with Mary Poppins. So I'm gonna have to check it out. Um, so yeah. So anyway, in my last video where I did Audrey Hepburn, I kind of like talked about her life a little bit. Shared some facts that I found online about her. I thought that was kind of fun, so I think I'm gonna do that with Marilyn Monroe. Um, in case there's anything that we don't know about her, maybe find out something new. I kind of think it's kind of fun to do. So I'm just looking at IMDb, which I don't know about anyone else, but I kind of have an obsession with going on IMDb and looking at this stuff. Anyway, she was born on June 1st, 1926 in Los Angeles. And of course, she was born Norma Jean. Um, Her last name was Mortensen. Mortensen. Um, but a lot of people are aware that her name was actually Norma Jean. She's known as the Blonde Bombshell, and she grew up kind of in a crazy household. Her mom was Gladys Baker, and she she never found out who her dad was, I guess. But her mom was schizophrenic, and she ended up giving her up because I believe her mom was actually eventually committed to a state hospital, which is really sad. Um, but anyway, I think they lost contact. Um, but it says here actually that her mom outlived her, which is interesting and sad. Um, yeah. So I guess so. It says this is interesting. I didn't know this part. Marilyn Monroe. She was taken by her best friend, her mom's best friend, who, after a series of foster homes, placed Marilyn into the Los Angeles Orphans Home. That's so sad. In 1935, Marilyn was traumatized by her experience there, despite the orphans' home being an adequate living facility. Her mom's friend took her back to live with her, but it didn't last long. And apparently, she was abused by the woman's husband, which that took a sad turn right there. A rather awful turn. But yeah, so she didn't have a very good childhood. Um, she got married really young, and she started modeling really young. She did some B movies. She was she has a small part in The Asphalt Jungle, which is a good movie, and All About Eve, which is another good movie. And the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is the movie that launched her popularity and her blonde bombshell persona. She was in The 7 Year Itch, which I think I've seen parts of that. Oh, and of course she married Joe DiMaggio, who was a famous baseball player, and my husband's a huge Yankees fan, so he knows all about Joe DiMaggio, and he actually knows more about their relationship than than I do, I think. Apparently, like, he sent her flowers for, like, when she died, he sent her flowers, like, every year until he died or something like that. She had a lot of miscarriages. Um, she was married to Arthur Miller, who was a playwright. Um, she underwent psychoanalysis, which I did know that. Uh, I know she did a lot of like psychological therapy, and she wrote a lot, I think, like journaled and stuff like that. She was kind of depressed. She was a little bit depressing. Um, and of course she died. She died in 1962. Um, I think she just kind of like, you know, she kind of lost it, and um, she took too many pills, and I don't know if anyone, I think she died by probable suicide, because she took too many pills, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like, I know there's some like conspiracy theories, um, that, someone killed her, or the CIA took her out, or something, stuff like that. I don't know if any of that's true, but, I think she was kind of a depressed person, and, you know, but anyway, so her life was rather dramatic. Um, but let's see some of the fun trivia. She was voted Sexiest Woman of the Century by People magazine. She was 1947's Miss California Artichoke Queen. That's something. In her autobiography, My Story, ghostwritten by Ben Hecht, she recounted her guardian telling her she was a direct descendant of James Monroe. Her mother's maiden name was Monroe, but there is no evidence she was a descendant of the U.S. president. Okay, so Monroe wasn't far off from her real name, though. Was roommates with Shelley Winters when they were both starting out in Hollywood. That's actually interesting. Um, Ranked number 8 in Empire magazine's the top 100 movie stars of all time. Voted Empire's sexiest female movie star of all time. She was Playboy's first Sweetheart of the Month in December 1953. When she died in 1962 at age 36, she left an estate valued at $1.6 million. In her will, Monroe bequeathed, is that the word? 75% of that estate to Lee Strasberg. I believe that was her husband at the time, her boyfriend or something. I think they maybe dated or something. I'm not sure. Her acting coach, and 25% to her doctor, her psychoanalyst, was just interesting. A trust fund provided her mother, Gladys Baker, with $5,000 a year. Wow. She passed her 25% on to the Anna Freud Center, a children's psychiatric institute in London. That's really interesting. That's pretty awesome. So she obviously was really interested in psychology and the mind, and because of everything that she had gone through. And it's nice that she, tried to give back and learn about it. But unfortunately, she seemed to have some problems herself. Um, the licensing of Marilyn's name and likeness, handled worldwide by Curtis Management Group, reportedly nets the Monroe estate about $2 million a year. Was named the #1 sex star of the 20th century by Playboy magazine in 1999. Started using the name Marilyn Monroe in 1946, but did not legally change it until 1956. Okay. She started using it in 1946. And put in the first cover of Playboy. Given a dog she named Tippy by foster father Albert Bolender. Oh. She's in Westwood Memorial Park. I guess that's where her tombstone is. Chosen. Hugh Hefner owns the closest burial vault next to hers. Of course he does. Ex-husband Joe DiMaggio put fresh roses at her memorial site for numerous years after her death. Yep, that's what Greg told me. When putting her imprints at Grauman's, I'm not sure how to say that, Grauman's, she joked that Jane Russell was best known for her large front side and she was known for her wiggly walk, so Jane could lean over and she could sit in it. It was only a joke, but she dotted the I in her name with a rhinestone, which was stolen within days. what? I'm not sure I understand that. But anyway, um, her first modeling job only paid $5. Frequently used Nivea moisturizer. Often carry around in the book the biography of Abraham Lincoln. I heard that she was really into books and reading, and she was very literate. Um, I don't know how true that is, but apparently she was really into books. Was an outstanding player on the Holly Grove Orphanage softball team. Wow, it didn't take her to be a softball player, but that's pretty cool. And it's kind of cute considering she dated Joe DiMaggio. Um, because the bathing suit she wore in the movie Love Nest was so risque for the time period and caused such a commotion on the set, director Newman had to make it a closed set when she was filming. Jesus. Fearing blemishes and sweat, she washed her face 15 times a day. That's a bit extra, I have to say. I don't think I would go that far, even if I was Marilyn Monroe. She was suggested as a possible wife for Prince Rainier of Monaco, but of course he ended up marrying Grace Kelly. Thought the right side of her face was her best side. The first time she signed an autograph as Marilyn Monroe, she had to ask how to spell it. She didn't know where to put the I in Marilyn. Suffered from endometriosis, which endometriosis is pretty common. It's when there's issues, the tissue of the uterus lining attaches itself to like other parts of the body or something, but it causes pain and it can cause infertility and stuff like that. It's rather painful. She wore glasses. All the pictures of her with glasses are really cute. She married Arthur Miller twice. Offered to convert to Catholicism in order to marry Joe DiMaggio. Went to I don't know how to say it, Van Nuys high school. So I'm almost done with making Marilyn Monroe, and as you can see, like her chin's not perfect. Like I said, I think like the bottom half should be a little bit more narrow. And her eyes could probably be even a little bit more, her eyelids could be a little bit more droopier even. But her chin is definitely too big. Should probably be a little bit more rounded. But I don't think it's too bad. I also gave her some personality traits. I think I gave her like romance and bookworm and something else, and I don't remember what. But yeah. Oh, she formed her own production company, which is interesting. Appears on the sleeve of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. What else? The very popular version of Santa Baby, thought to be sung by her, was instead recorded by Cynthia Bassinet. It does sound like her, but apparently it isn't. One of the first Los Angeles natives to become a major movie star. In 1999, a makeup kit she personally owned sold for $266,500. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end it there. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is my Marilyn Monroe. I think it turned out okay. I would change a few things, but like I said, I mean, it's the best I could do. I'll be doing more of these. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like this video. And I'll be making more, so come back and check it out. Thanks for watching.